Hello students, let's start the next topic, that is field of quotients of an integral domain. So before it there is a definition. Consider D is an integral domain. D is integral domain and form a Cartesian product D cross D is equal to set of all AB where AB belongs to D. Now first of all remind what is integral domain. It is a commutative ring with unity and without zero divisors. Without zero divisors means what? If the product AB is equal to 0, then either A0 or B0. Suppose D is integral domain, D cross D is the Cartesian product. The elements will be of the form AB, AB belongs to D. Let S is a subset of D cross D given by, now we are taking subset of D cross D as set of all AB such that AB belongs to D and B not equal to 0. From this D cross D we are taking only those elements AB such that the second element should not be equal to 0. That is set S. Now next is definition of equivalent two elements AB and CD in S. In this S are said to be equivalent, denoted by AB equivalent to CD if and only if A into D is equal to B into C. Okay, two elements equivalent if A into D is same as B into C, if and only if. Means these two elements equivalent, then AD is equal to BC. Conversely, if AD is equal to BC, then these two elements are equivalent. There is one lemma, the relation. This equivalent relation between elements of the set S is an equivalence relation. Now what is equivalence relation? Equivalence relation means it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. What it means? That any element from S, every element AB is equivalent to itself. This is a reflexive relation. Symmetric means if AB related to CD, then CD equivalent to AB. And third, transitive. Transitive means what? If AB related to, means that is if AB equivalent to CD, CD equivalent to EF, then AB equivalent to EF. Okay, so this equivalent relation is equivalence, means it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive relation. Next lemma, for in square bracket AB, what it means square bracket AB? So here is equivalence class of AB in S under the relation equivalent is denoted by AB bar or in square bracket AB. Means what? In square bracket AB means it is a set of all elements of S such that AB equivalent to that elements. Here is note, capital F is a set of all equivalence classes AB for AB belongs to S. So F is a set of all equivalence classes for every element of S. Now for lemma is for in square bracket AB and square bracket CD, means equivalence class AB and CD in F. The equations, addition of this ABCD is, addition is AD plus BC BD, multiplication is AC BD. Give well defined operations of addition and multiplication on F. So this addition and multiplication is well defined for equivalence classes of S. Now what is field of quotient of D? So that is a theorem. Any integral domain can be enlarged to or embedded in a field F. Every integral domain we can extend integral domain D by adding elements to field F, or we can compress it to field F, we can embed it to the field F such that every element of F can be expressed as a quotient of two elements of D. Every element of F, we can write every element of F as a quotient of two elements of D, and that field is called as a field of quotient of D. Okay. Now next topic is rings of polynomials. So what is rings of polynomials? So polynomials in an indeterminate. Let R be a ring. R satisfies all properties of a ring. R is a ring. A polynomial fx with coefficients in R is an infinite formal sum. summation of a x raised to I, that is a naught plus a1x plus up to an x raised to n. Here all these coefficients are from ring R. Okay, so this polynomial with respect to addition of polynomials and multiplication forms a ring that is called as a polynomial ring. Okay, now here this is a polynomial, all these coefficients are elements of ring. Now here what is degree? For n not equal to 0, if n is not equal to 0, then the highest power is degree of that polynomial. If such power does not exist, then we call the polynomial, degree of polynomial is undefined. For example, fx is x square plus x plus 1, its degree is 2. If fx is 2 plus x square, its degree is 2. Okay, addition and multiplication, we know addition and multiplication of two polynomials, so it is a naught plus b naught plus a1 plus b1 outside x plus like this. Okay, addition is c naught plus c1x plus up to cnx raised to n, where cn is a and bn. And we know about multiplication, fx into gx is d naught plus d1x up to dnx raised to n, where dn is summation ai pn minus I varies from 0 to n. Now here, if r is not commutative, means what? R not commutative means coefficients are not commutative, means ab is not equal to ba in R. Then for the polynomial, summation of ai bn minus I will not be equal to summation of bi a n minus I. So next is definition of polynomial ring, that is the set Rx of all polynomials in an indeterminate x with coefficients in a ring. We are taking coefficients from a ring. Okay, set of all Rx with all polynomials with coefficients of R is a ring under polynomial addition and multiplication. Okay, if R is commutative, then so is Rx. If R is commutative, then Rx is also commutative. If R has a unity, 1 non-zero, then 1 is unity for polynomial ring Rx. Okay, now let us solve some examples. Find the sum and the product of given polynomials in the given polynomial ring. Fx is 4x minus 5, gx is 2x square minus 4x plus 2 in z at x. Okay, here the coefficients are from z8, means coefficients will be from 0 to 7 for these polynomials. Okay, now fx plus gx is 4x minus 5 plus 2x square minus 4x plus 2. So we will add it, it will be 2x square minus 3. But minus 3 is same as 5 in z at x, because if we divide 5 by 8, what we get? We get minus 3. So minus 3 is equivalent to 5. So its answer addition is 2x square plus 5. For multiplication, fx into gx, we multiply it. Now here, what is the polynomial ring? Z at x. So 8 is same as 0, 16 same as 0, 8 is same as 0. Here divide by 8 we get minus 2, here we get 4, here we get minus 2. Okay, so we get minus 2x square plus 4x minus 2, but minus 2 is same as 6 in z8. Next, fx is x plus 1, x plus 1, addition is 2x plus 2, and it is in z2x. Polynomials from z2x means coefficients will be from z2, that is 0 and 1. So 2 is 0 in z2, 2 is 0, so it is 0. And their multiplication is x square plus 2x plus 1, but 2x is 0 in z2, so we get answer x square plus 1. Next, similarly, we add these two polynomials and multiply and reduce by z6. Okay. So next, similarly, two polynomials from z5x here. So same way, all the coefficients of these polynomials are from z5. That is, coefficients are from 0 to 4. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can observe here. Fx plus gx addition, multiplication, and reduce by z5. Now next question is, how many polynomials are there of degree 2 in z2x? We have to find out number of polynomials of degree 2 in z2x, means coefficients of that polynomial of degree 2 must be from z2. What is z2? set 0 and 1. So consider ax square plus bx plus c. Its degree is 2, is a polynomial of degree 2. For degree 2, this a should not be equal to 0. Okay. Now what Z2 contains? Z2 contains only two elements. Z2 contains 0 and 1. From that, a should not be equal to 0, then only its degree will be 2. A should not be equal to 0 means definitely a will be 1. So our a is 1 is fixed, and this b and c can be 0 or 1. So how many possibilities we get? A, B, C. A is 1, B 0, 0. Here A, B, C 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So which polynomials we get? So a is 1 means we get a1, b0, c0 means we get x square. Then putting these values of a, b, c in this polynomial, we get the polynomial x square. Next x square plus 1, then x square plus x, then x square plus x plus 1. So we get total 4 polynomials of degree 2 in Z2x. Next example, how many polynomials are there of degree less equal 3 in Z2x, including 0. Degree less equal 3. It is not given that it must be 3, it can be less equal 3, means its degree may be 0, 1, 2 or 3. So let ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d is a polynomial of degree 3. Okay. Now Z2, again Z2 contains two elements, 0 or 1. So a may be 0 or 1. So there are two possibilities for a. Similarly, b may be 0, 1, 0 or 1, c may be 0 or 1, d may be 0 or 1. So there are two possibilities for all these a, b, c and d. So there are total how many possibilities? 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. That is, there are total 16 possibilities. So there are how many polynomials? 16 polynomials of degree less equal 3 in Z2x. So we can find out these polynomials like this. So ax square plus bx square plus cx plus d. A can be 0 or 1. So b can be 0, 1 like this. C can be 0, 1. D can be 0, 1. So we make this table. A 1, 1, 1 8 times, 0, 0, 0 8 times. Now here b 4 times 0, 4 times 1. Again for this 0, 4 times 0, 4 times 1. Here for C and D 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Similarly for it repeated here. Okay. So polynomials will be a, this is first column value of a, second value of b, value of c, value of d. So polynomials will be like x cube plus 1, x cube plus x cube plus x plus 1, x cube plus x square, x cube plus x square plus 1, like this. X cube plus x square plus x cube plus x square plus x plus 1, then 0 polynomial, then next only element 1, that is constant polynomial, then x plus 1, x square, then x square plus 1, x square plus x square plus x plus 1. So there are total 16 polynomials of degree less equal 3 in polynomial ring Z2x. Okay. Next is evaluation homomorphism. So what is evaluation homomorphism? The theorem is the evaluation homomorphism for field theory. Statement is, let F be a subfield of a field F. Okay, F is subfield of field E. F is a subfield of field E. Let alpha be any element of E. Alpha is any element of E. F is subfield of E. And let X be an indeterminate. The map phi alpha from f of x to E defined by phi alpha of, now element of fx will be polynomial. So phi alpha of a naught plus a1x plus up to an x raised to n is same as a naught plus a1 alpha plus up to an alpha raised to n. Means applying this phi alpha to this polynomial is same as replacing x by alpha. We are replacing x by alpha here. Okay. For this polynomial that is containing f of x is a homomorphism of fx into E. Okay. This is a homomorphism of fx into E. Also, phi alpha of x is alpha. For single x, phi of alpha is phi alpha of x is alpha, and phi alpha maps F isomorphically by the identity map, that is phi alpha of A is A for A belongs to F. Okay, remember it that phi alpha of x is alpha and phi alpha of any constant A belongs to field, phi alpha of A is A. The homomorphism phi alpha is evaluation at alpha. So you remember here phi alpha of polynomial is nothing but we replace indeterminate x by alpha. Let us solve examples of it. Compute phi 2 of x square plus 3 where E and F means field subfield both are complex number, set of complex number. Now phi 2 of x square plus 3, what we do? We replace x by alpha. What is alpha here? 2. Phi alpha. Okay, so here alpha is 2, so we replace x by 2 here. So that will be 2 square plus 3, that is 7. Next, compute phi alpha of 2x cube minus x square plus 3x plus 2 where E and F are complex. So phi I of this polynomial means it is same as we replace x by I here because it is phi of I. So we replace x by I, 2i cube minus I square plus 3i plus 2. It gives I plus 3. So similarly, phi 3 of this polynomial is equal to, so first what we do? We multiply these two polynomials. So it gives this polynomial, okay? So we simplify it to this polynomial. Applying phi 3 means we need to replace x by this 3. So we replace x by 3 everywhere. We get answer 261, and 261 is 2 in Z7 because here E and F are Z7. Okay, means what you have to do in such type of examples, we replace indeterminate x by alpha. Here alpha is 2, here I, here 3, and reduce the answer according to what is E and F. Now here was Z7, so we reduce it to in Z7. Next example, compute phi 4 of 3x raised to 106 plus 5x raised to 99 plus 2x raised to 53 where E and F both are Z7. Hint, use Fermat's theorem. So here phi 4 of this polynomial is same as we replace x by 4. So that will be 3 into 4 raised to 106 plus 5 into 4 raised to 99 plus 2 into x by 4, that is 4 raised to 53. Give it equation 1. Now we have to find out this 4 raised to 106 in Z7. 4 raised to 106 in Z7 means what? We want the answer that what will be the remainder when 4 raised to 106 is divided by 7. So 4 raised to 106 in Z7, that is find remainder when 4 raised to 106 is divided by 7. So what is A here? A is 4, P, prime P is 7. Here P does not divide A, 7 does not divide 4. So by Fermat's theorem, A raised to P minus 1, that is 4 raised to 7 minus 1, 6, congruence to 1 mod P, that is 7. So what power we want? 106. So we take the 17th power to both hand side, we get 4 raised to 102, congruence to 1 mod 7. Again what we want? 106, here is 102, so we need 4. So we take 4 raised to 4, that is congruence to 4 mod 7. Means when we divide this 4 raised to 4 by 7, remainder is 4. So we multiply these two, we get 4 raised to 106 congruence to 4 mod 7. We gave it equation 2. Means what? In 4 raised to 106 we can write 4. Okay, this 4 raised to 106 can be replaced by 4. Similarly, we will find out 4 raised to 99 when 4 raised to 99 divided by 7, the remainder, and third when 4 raised to 53 divided by 7, what is remainder, and we replace that values here. So we solved it, and when 4 raised to 99 divided by 7 we get remainder 1, and here we get remainder 2. We substitute these values in equation 1, then we get answer 21. 21 is what? 21 is 0 in Z7, so finally our answer is 0. Okay. So next definition is, let F is a subfield of field E, F is a subfield, alpha is element of E. Let fx is a0 plus a1x plus anx raised to n be in fx. Okay, this is a polynomial in fx, and let phi alpha of fx to E be an equivalent homomorphism. Let f of alpha denote phi alpha of f of x is equal to a0 plus a1 alpha plus an alpha raised to n. If f of alpha is 0, then alpha is a 0 of f of x. So let us see example of it. Find all zeros in the indicated finite field of the given polynomial with coefficients in that field. Now x square plus 1 in Z2. So zeros of these, what is given fx is x square plus 1, Z2 is 0 and 1. So we will find out f of 0 and f of 1. F of 0 will be 0 plus 1, 1. So 0 is not a 0 of f of x. F of 1 will be f of 1, 1 square plus 1, that is 2, which is 0. Okay, 2 is 0 in Z2. So 2 is 0 in Z2. So we can write this 1 is a 0 of f of x. So similarly, fx x cube plus 2x plus 2 in Z7. So we will find out one by one. Z7 means elements 0, 1, 2 up to 6. So we substitute values one by one. F of 0 will be 2, not equal to 0. F of 1 will be 5, not equal to 0. F of 2 will be 2 cube plus 4 plus 2, that is 8 plus 12 plus 2, that is 14, which is 0. So 2 is a 0 of f of x. So 2 is 0. Similarly, 3 will be 0 and remaining will not be 0. So similarly for this polynomial in Z5, so we will check for 0 to element 0 to 4. So from that you will get 0 and 4 are 0 of, 0 means root, okay, 0 and 4 are 0 of this polynomial. Find fx into gx where fx gx given. So as previously we solved fx into gx, multiplication of this polynomial, okay, and we reduce it to in Z7. Next is use Fermat's theorem to find all zeros in Z5 of this polynomial. So we have to find out all zeros in Z5 for this polynomial. What Z5 contains? Elements from 0 to 4. So f of x is this polynomial. F of 0, put x is equal to 0 everywhere, we get 0. F of 0, 0. So 0 is a 0 of fx. F of 1, put x is equal to 1, we get 10, that is 0 in Z5. So 1 is a 0 of f of x. F of 2 is equal to, replace x by 2 everywhere. Okay, now how to find out these values? 2 raised to 219 like this. So we will use Fermat's theorem. So by Fermat's theorem, now we 2 raised to find 2 raised to 219 in Z5 means find remainder when 2 raised to 219 divided by 5. So our a is 2, okay, and prime p is Z5 means prime p is 5. So by Fermat's theorem, a raised to p minus 1 congruous to 1 mod p. Okay, so we will find remainder. Similarly for this element, we substitute all these values, okay, all these values in equation 1. So and we get the answer 25, which is 0 in Z5. So 2 is a 0 of fx. Similarly, we will find out for 3 and 4. So we will get 3 is a 0 of fx and 4 is not 0 of fx. It is homework for you that solve this in detail, whether really 3 is 0 of fx or not, and whether 4 is not a 0 of fx or what. Okay, so let's stop here. Thank you.